Procurement is the act of purchasing goods and services, and in child nutrition programs, there are state, local, and federal guidelines that have to be followed. Informal procurement can happen with a lower dollar threshold of purchases, and it is not as detailed, and there are more flexible rules in the way that you do your procurement. For example, if you were procuring milk for the year, you could just contact several milk producers and with the specifications of what you're looking for, get an informal bid from them for the price of the milk that they'll provide.
I put myself out there and I ask the farmers, can you help me? Do you have any apples that you need a home for that are too small? It's putting yourself out there. You will have to approach your local farmers, go to your local 4-H and get a list of all the farmers in your area.
When you have a high dollar amount of a product or service, there are different procurement rules you need to follow than things that you're purchasing that have a lower dollar amount. Generally, a procurement threshold is calculated or determined by your total annual purchase of that. If you're buying bread, today's purchase of bread isn't the qualifier that you use. It's how much bread are you going to buy this year when you determine where your threshold is.
It's based on your total spend of food. So if you spend $100,000 a year on food, you're going to get less than a school that spends $2 million.
The farm to school aspect, learning from what farmer you're going to use, how far they are from you, or is it going to be feasible, financially feasible for you to purchase from them with delivery rates and their price mark. So for us, it worked out with Cherry Capital because they've done all the legwork for you with the farmers, right? They're already farmer direct in those aspects. We order directly from them. Everything's itemized and available. We know we'll say if it's from Michigan or not. When it comes to procurement, we limit how much things we purchase from them as they're a small line distributor. As most of us, we have to single with procurement, have a broad line distributor as our singular first, but they're a secondary, one of our secondaries for us, and it works out great.
It's important to maintain relationships with local farmers and to have conversations about the kind of products that you're looking for or that students in your district like, or things that you have the capacity to store. So if you have the capacity to wash and freeze or chop or store large amounts of produce, then an opportunity buy could be a way to save a substantial amount of money.
We plan on purchasing our greenage from Sharecare Farms because she does a lot of greens, like leafy vegetables, and a season extension from her. So, and she's a huge farm to school participant with various school districts around her. There are a lot of the school districts that may select a apple orchard instead of a distributor and say, well, we're going to purchase through procurement, purchase our apples directly from Blake's Orchard, right? For an example. That's what we've organized, that's what we set up through procurement, that's what we'll do.
Because it is an incentive program, people may not have had a familiarity with procurement. So this gives them experience in procuring outside of the larger, more broadline distributor. So once people get a handle on that, begin to become more comfortable with procurement outside of those broadlines distributors, they become more comfortable buying that way, and they just make it a habit.
Even when you are doing informal procurement, you still need to receive at least 3 bids and always document the communication that you've had in writing if possible, and retain all of that information for your files.
Find a place that will work with you and that understands the program. They pull a lot of that for us. They, flag the purchases that meet the requirements. Find partner organizations who believe in the mission too, because they're going to work with you and they're going to make it so that your program is a success.
Micropurchasing is a lower threshold type of simple procurement, and it can be done even more informally. You don't have to have as many questions when you're trying to find a vendor to purchase from. It is a way to find a specialty item sometimes when you're looking for a very specific thing. It is important to try and spread your micro-purchase dollars amongst multiple vendors, and to, as with all documentation, hold on to it for 3 years. When you're doing micro-purchasing, you can't randomly split your purchases. So for example, you can't split your red peppers, your green peppers, and your yellow peppers in order to fit within the small micro-purchase threshold. You want to make sure that your information is specific about, the type of bun that you're trying to purchase, or the size of bun, or the green content of the bun. You need to be specific of the details of the product that you are trying to purchase.
Eventually, gold standard, what we'd love to see everyone doing, is actually forward contracting with farmers, where they say to a farmer, I would like for you to grow 3 acres of sweet corn for me. And then that farmer knows to plant 3 acres of sweet corn, and it is tagged for that district, and they know that they've got an automatic sale for that district.
It's really about creating those relationships, getting schools to think differently about the food that they're serving kids, and I think getting farmers to think differently about where their food is going and what impact that food can have once it's off their farm. Because I can see a farmer thinking about, this food is going to feed the kid down the road, versus, this food is ending up, through a broker, through a distributor, maybe ends up in a Meijer in Ohio or something like that, and they're like, they don't even have any idea who's purchasing that food or who's eating it. So it really brings them a lot closer to the customers and to the the impact that their food has.
The Michigan Department of Education Health and Nutrition Services office can help you with all of those questions. We have people who do just procurement and can help you answer any questions that you might have.